You want to know why communism still exists in the world? Because the people, don't ever biblically mature. That's why. That's exactly why. In order to biblically mature, you have to become dependent on God. It's like a child, really. God gives you what you need because you're not willing to be independent. Socialists want somebody to come in and take care of everything. And we are supposed to take care and help others. But the socialist system never works, neither does the communist system. But then the people don't want to do as God said. But Peter and the apostles answered, we must obey God rather than men. This world, it doesn't matter what country, will sooner obey men. They will bend over for their paycheck. They will do whatever they're told. And they'll go as far as to compromise their values. So eventually God's like, okay, well, that's what you get. There you go. You reap what you sow. You didn't want to listen to me. The reason the book of Exodus was so long was to get you to see that you need to first, before anything else, you need to be dependent on me for everything. So do the right thing and be dependent on me, not worrying about, oh, you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose this, you're going to lose that. Nope, just look to me, depend on me. How many people in the world will do that? Probably none, especially in this day and age. But that's what it takes. This is what God thought of those that didn't believe in God, in him. The fool says in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They do abominable deeds. There is none good who does good. The Lord looks down from heaven on the children of man to see if there are any who understand, who seek after God. They have all turned aside. Together they have become corrupt. There is none who does good, not even one. Have they no knowledge? All the evildoers who eat up my people as they eat bread and do not call upon the Lord. Yeah, it's the same problem. Like I guarantee you, like, America's not the type that will give up its firearms easily, but if God does not think that America, the people have matured biblically, you'll lose your firearms. That's what it all is dependent on. But you have dishonored the poor man. Are not the rich the ones who oppress you and the ones who drag you into court? Yeah. Lawyers control the world. Trump was just saying when he was it Theo's podcast or on YouTube, I forget his last name, that young guy who he recently interviewed Trump, and Trump said the biggest lobby is the lawyer lobby. He said that's a hard thing to get rid of. All the lobbies are bad, but that one most especially. He said the easiest thing that would be to do is that to make it that if anybody sues, that if they lose, they're going to have to pay for all the fees. That he said that would stop some of these the constant lawsuits against people and against everyone. I mean, lawyers control the world. Jesus mentioned lawyers. He woed them. I mean, they go to school to learn how to lie for a living, really. That's what they do. But they control the world. They control everything. That's who most of our politicians are. That's who's on every court. I mean, they started out as lawyers. So it's really important to realize that even though this world will tell you over and over again that it's just a fairy tale, what I'm saying, when you see that even in 2024 you still have communist countries in the world, and America is almost, is halfway there, almost going to communism. After the 250 years our Constitution has been in place, and all of a sudden these jerk-offs, Kamala Harris, the Democrat Party, many of the Republicans, all the people that have been selling the place out, you see your country is being, all of a sudden it's going away. Yeah, you could say, I'm going to go pick up my firearms and I'm going to fight. And I'm not saying, that hopefully it won't come to that. But I'm saying, really, you need to look to God. That's the only thing that can fix this. I think Trump knows it, too. I don't know why, I just do. I think he knows that is the only thing that will fix it, because it's so big. How could one man fix it? No, it will take an act of God. So if you want God to act, God needs to hear from you. God needs to know that you're not just doing some a foxhole prayer and just, this one time I'm going to pray to you, God. No, he wants to, how invested are you in? Because I'm the one that decides if you get freedom. That's who it is. You can vote anybody you want in, but God will decide it ultimately. I mean, yes, he wants to see you vote for the right people, obviously. But in 2020, he put Joe Biden in. He did. People voted. We know what happened, but God raised Joe Biden up for a reason. Because it is contingent on you and not just you going and voting. If you do not want to have communism and socialism coming in, then you need to help your neighbor. You need to do what you can. I mean, part of the problem too is that we need people in place that know how to deal with things, not based on all of their education, but because they have experience in that area. Like the people running like treatment centers for addiction should actually be former addicts and alcoholics. It used to be that way. It's not anymore because they've cut all of it. But that would be the best thing. Yeah. But no, in this world, you're going to have your psychiatric association tell you what's best. That's part of the problem. You can see what those people have done. You could see not just them, the nursing, the medical, the education associations. They do not know how to do the right thing. They are about a socialized system because they're sick in their head. And they use this excuse so they can sleep at night that tells them that, no, this is best for mankind. No, God is what's best for mankind. God is what's missing. No fucking socialist is going to fix it, nor communism, because we know the history of where that takes everyone. But that comes in because the people start depending more on the government, start depending more on man, start depending more on, I have to do whatever man tells me, I have to do whatever this person tells me, even if I know that's not the right thing to do, I have to do it because somebody more powerful or bigger than me is telling me to. Yeah, all that stuff just shows God that, when the Israelites were in Egypt, they for a long time were screaming up and praying up to God. A long time. It wasn't like just a prayer here and there, and God swept in and took them out. No, they were really hollering and yelling so that it raised up to heaven, to where God was like, they're serious now. They're serious now because He left them there. That's what they wanted to listen to all them. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. They wanted to listen to the socialists and the communists, the Bernie Sanders, the AOCs. That's what they wanted to listen to. They wanted to believe those people when they say, we care about you. So God says, yeah, go ahead then. Have at it. Then what happens? They end up in slavery. And eventually got sick of it and then cried and hollered and carried on and raised their voice high enough, saying, God, please help us. And so God did. And God raised up Moses and used Moses. And then, the rest is history. Used many other people that He raised up, But that's usually His pattern. You get what, you get that. You get this because of your own actions. You wanted to obey men rather than me. When God, in the Bible, when it talks about the law, it's talking about God's law. And if you know God through the personal relationship, He puts it on your heart. You know what most people know what the right thing is to do. It's just people that are godless will easily compromise. They don't have a value system. They really don't. They'll tell you they do, but they'll compromise it at the drop of a hat to serve whatever bullshit they want to go along with because it'll serve them. It's just usually the way it is. It's just an easy route to compromise, never have any values, put it that way. But slavery is, people rip on God because slavery is in the Bible. It is, because God gave man free will. That free will was in hopes that you would realize that in order to determine your course of freedom, you need to be fully dependent on God.